Hello crafty friends, this is Amy. Welcome. This project that I'm doing today is I'm using these very pretty designs that I found on Etsy, and I'm going to put them on these tins. And I've been looking at these tins for a while, wanting to do something with it, and I thought, why not make them into a coffee and a cocoa container? The larger tin, it looks from like on the bottom of it is a shortbread container. It says something like Knott's Berry Farm, and so it actually has kind of a neat lid where you could actually put something in it and it would probably stay nice. And the other one is just a cheap little thing. I think I bought it at Michael's for 69 cents. It was one of those where they had 90% off in this aisle, and so it must have been a $6.99 tin. Okay, so you saw that I'd put down a black base layer, and my purpose for that is so I can sand it after I've applied the black, and then I'm going to apply the white layers, and I ended up doing 3 layers, and I used chalk paint for all of it. And when you sand it, you should be able to bring out the black in the background as you sand down through the layers. So when I did, like I said, I ended up putting 3 layers of this chalk paint on. And that first layer I allowed to dry pretty thoroughly. And the second and third layers went on and they dried pretty fast. Also with this design, it's really cute, but it took quite a while for me to weed away. You can see how detailed it is. And when I do this stuff, I don't even think of that, oh, it's going to be a lot of weeding. I just see it, I like it, I buy it. And then when you cut it out, it's going, oh boy, this is a lot to weed. But, I'm only doing one, and I'm doing another, the larger one. And so you just get it done. So this is where I put the transfer tape down, and now I'm pulling it up. And if you're new to this kind of thing, on your vinyl, you cut it out. Weeding is taking away all the negative space, so you're left with your words and your design, and then you put a transfer paper over it, and then that's going to stick to it, and that will allow you to put it down on your piece of tin or wood or whatever it is, and you just do the same thing. You apply pressure, and then your design will stick to your surface. And something like the tool I'm using is perfect, or you could use like an old credit card, or maybe a wooden stick. Your fingernail sometimes is needed. Sometimes one end will not pull up, so you just work at it and bring it back down and apply more pressure, that kind of a thing. Now with this small tin, I put the design down and then I did the sanding. Well, as I was sanding, I noticed how nice and smooth it felt, and so with the larger piece, I did the entire sanding first. I cleaned it off, made sure it was dry, and then I put the design down, and that is the way I would suggest that you do it. It's kind of neat how smooth it was. I didn't realize how smooth it felt once you've sanded chalk paint. I'm really like thinking this is a really more fun product than I thought it was. And so I'm trying to just get down to that black layer so I can have some of the black paint show, so it looks rustic and old. I did decide that I really like this technique, and so I'm going to try this more, and just try it with maybe some wood pieces, and I just think it's such a fun little technique of pulling off the paint and having that pretty black underneath. And after I'd sanded that larger piece, I couldn't believe all of the chalk paint I had that was dry particles just sitting there on my workspace. So I've actually got like paper down, and so I ended up just rolling it all up and throwing, the top layer away. And so here I am just sanding this, and I just loved how soft it was and smooth. An alternative would be just to paint it all white and then add your black after the fact. I tend to get a little heavy-handed, and so I wanted to try this technique and see how well this went. I think if a person had sharper corners, it might be a little more, easier to get the black to show. But, sometimes you just got to take your time and work at it. I appreciate you stopping in and watching my video. I am trying to grow my channel, and the next thing I'm going to be working on is some Valentine items, and it'll be coming out this Friday, and it's a collaboration with Heidi Sambol has an open collaboration, and so I'm going to add to that, and this will be a fun one. You can join in and see all the ladies and their ideas with their Valentine ideas, and maybe get some decorating done or just having some fun. I do want to mention that I did take some Mod Podge and I covered both of the fronts of these, and I just didn't want anything to peel up and fall off in case water splashed on it or anything like that. A person could, do the entire thing. I just went with the front. There they are. I was so pleased with how they turned out. I love them, and I like the little black that comes through. I can't wait to start doing this with some wood pieces and really going to town on this farmhouse look. I just love how they turned out. Thank you so much for joining me. I very much appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, friends.